Has President Biden reached out to you recently, asked for his support?
No.
Or your support? He hasn't. Should he?
It's pretty stupid for him not to. Like when you're running for office, unless the person like morally repulses you, and even then, if it's close.
No one cares about you, Christie. No one cares about you. The idea that it is stupid for Joe Biden not to call Christie and ask for his endorsement. Why? So the 4 people who supported you during the Republican primaries might consider voting for Joe Biden? What was that?
Guys, I'm not joking. I outpolled Christie when I was running for president. We were in the race at the same time, and I had more support as a non-natural born citizen than he did. And he was a former governor of New Jersey.
He's genuinely offended.
Yeah, me too, by the way. Biden hasn't called me.
But guys, okay. I would at least have enough self-awareness, because I would not carry myself in the way that he is, where he feels that people owe him something.
Yeah, but I know why. So both, you can see it publicly, but I've also seen it at some venture capital conferences, et cetera, where he's feted. Like in New York and DC, they love Christie. They can't get enough. Why? He's the prototypical establishment politician. Will do anything the donors ask him. No muss, no fuss, right? He's not gonna pull a Trump and go off the reservation and do things just for himself. He's gonna get the normal enrichment that he gets from corruption, et cetera. He's gonna do everything that the donors ask him. He's uniparty all the way. So they love him. And he's anti-Trump. Oh, he's perfect, right? So that's rich folks, donors, media people, other politicians, since they all adore Christie, he says that because they tell him all the time how great he is, so he believes it.
Sad. Oh, that's so sad.
And secondly, he thinks, and he's right about this, that elite circle in DC will think, oh, that is outrageous. How come Joe Biden hasn't called Christie, a moderate Republican who's in favor of all the same corporate tax cuts and giveaways that we are, and begged him for his support? Yeah, he should do that right away. Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you.
This is a good rule of thumb, and I think most people operate this way anyway. Most normal people, right? The normies. Don't walk through life expecting others to owe you things, right? Walk through life feeling that no one owes you a damn thing, because that's the reality, okay? So that's what kind of, I wouldn't even say irritated me, I just find it laughable. I mean, it was hilarious what he just said, but why don't we hear more of what he had to say? He's speaking to Leigh Caldwell, and this was an interview that took place yesterday.
President Bush 43 one time said to me when I was running for governor the first time, he called to give me advice, and he said to me, one last thing, buddy, remember, ask for the vote. You know, you show up in front of these groups, they all think, well, they know I want their vote. People like to be asked. Look at them and say, I want your vote. Ask for the vote. If this were George W. Bush, man, my phone would have rung 5 minutes after I got out of the race. I have to believe it's philosophical with his staff. And they don't want to go there because they're concerned about the far left. Well, God, what if we, go and ask for support from an antichrist like a Republican? We need to be working together, and it would be a smart thing for Biden to do, but so far, no. And I know
the invitation is open.
And I know he's got my number because right after he was elected, I said some positive things on ABC, and I got in the car to head back to New Jersey, and he called and said, I listened to what you said, thank you so much. Important for Republicans to be saying that. So he's got the number, I haven't changed it.
Just have some self-respect, bro. Like a little bit of self-respect. This is so, no one cares about you, Christie. No one, you wanna know who endorsed Biden in 2020? Wall-to-wall neocons. Wall-to-wall neocons endorsed Biden, okay? Those neocons got absorbed into the Democratic Party, by the way. Did leftists or progressives lose their minds over that? No, Biden's not calling you because he's afraid of leftists or progressives. He's not calling you because he doesn't care about you, Christie. He doesn't think that you're influential. Accept it. And once you accept it, I think you'll live a better life. That self-awareness is a good thing.
Yeah. Besides which progressives are fighting Biden in Washington? that they would bother fighting him over Christie? They didn't fight him over paid family leave not being included, public option not being proposed. They didn't fight him over minimum wage or voting rights. They're going to fight him over not calling Christie.
I think what he's referring to is the voters that voters who are further on the left would be upset if someone like Christie endorses Biden after Biden gives him a call and kisses his butt?
Yeah, I presumably. Look, Anna, you're right on 2 counts. One, he's flattering himself. No one is going to be animated enough to care to be mad at Biden over that. Number 2, you're totally right that everybody knows, like in the progressive sphere, not in the whole Democratic Party or the whole country, but in our section of the populist left, everyone knows Joe Biden is a Republican light. Like he is, like I bet his opinion, like his policies from Christie's, like it's a 5-10% difference, almost no difference at all. So nobody's gonna get upset. Oh, I can't believe you agree with the same policies that you have. Of course he does. Joe Manchin, Christie, Joe Biden, their policies are nearly indistinguishable. Okay, so now to your point about an entitlement complex, just real quick. I never once, I didn't think about it until this story when I said I outpolled him. And remember he's on the Republican side. I'm on the Democratic side. And I got the equivalent in polling about 1.6 million voters on the Democratic side saying, I'd like to vote for this brother, even though he wasn't born in the country. And it never even occurred to me that Biden would call me, even though those are voters he desperately needs. Because I don't have an entitlement complex. Whereas Christie thinks I am owed everything. Last thing, which is hilarious, I bet Biden calls him now. Because that's how weak he is.
Look, if Biden does that, you should have some self-respect. Like,
no, he doesn't have any self-respect at all.
Well, that's true. That's definitely been demonstrated time and time again. But I do want to go to one more video because in this next one, he's specifically asked point blank. He's not supportive of Donald Trump, clearly. I mean, he's been very critical of Donald Trump. So does that mean that he's supportive of Joe Biden as the current president who should get reelected? Let's watch.
Would you vote for Biden?
I don't think so. No.
RFK Jr.?
No, look, right now, things can change because campaigns matter. The one thing I know for sure now is I am not voting for Trump under any circumstances. If he's the only person on the ballot, I'm not voting for Trump. But President Biden, in my view, is past his sell-by date. Right now, I couldn't say to myself, I think Joe Biden is capable of being president today, let alone at 86. I mean, everybody take a breath. He's gonna be 4 years older. It's not like they say to you when you get past 85, okay, you only have to be president 3 days a week. You go to Delaware the rest of the time, take time off. No, president is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I don't believe the man's up to it.
I think Christie is gonna write his own name in. He's not gonna vote for Biden, not gonna vote for Trump, not gonna vote for RFK Jr. Who are you gonna vote for then? You're gonna write your name in?
No, Jill Stein. No, that's a great point. I bet he does. That's the kind of egomaniac he is. By the way, what's also telling about politics is if Biden had called him, he wouldn't have said any of those things.
Yep.
That's how greasy politicians are. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.